Picture yourself standing at the edge of a quiet forest, sunlight filtering through ancient trees, a gentle breeze carrying whispers of possibility. You know what you want, a dream, a change, a better version of yourself. But something holds you back. You've read the books, heard the advice, gathered the knowledge, yet you remain still. Why? Because, as Zhuangzi, the great Chinese philosopher, said, "To know and not act is not yet to know." These words aren't just a challenge. They're a spark, a call to transform understanding into action, to turn dreams into reality. This is the heart of personal growth, the bridge between who you are and who you can become. Today, we'll explore this profound truth, uncover its wisdom, and find the courage to act. Let's step into this journey together, with hope as our guide, and discover how one action can change everything. Life is a tapestry of dreams and doubts, woven with moments of clarity and struggle. You might know exactly what you need to do: start that business, mend a broken relationship, pursue a passion, but knowing isn't enough. The challenges we face are real and relentless. There's the fear of failure, that gnawing voice whispering, "What if you fall short?" There's the weight of procrastination, the temptation to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan. You might feel overwhelmed by the noise of daily life. Endless responsibilities, bills to pay, expectations to meet, leaving little room for your dreams. Perhaps you're stuck in a cycle of overthinking, analyzing every possibility until paralysis sets in. You tell yourself, "I'll start when I'm ready, when I know more, when the time is right." But that time never comes, does it? The knowledge you've gathered, those books, podcasts, late-night reflections, sits unused, like seeds unplanted. You're not alone in this. We've all stood at this crossroads, armed with understanding but hesitant to move. The world rewards action, yet we hesitate, caught in the gap between knowing and doing. Maybe it's the fear of judgment, the worry that others will question your choices. Maybe it's the comfort of routine, the safety of staying where you are. These are the barriers that keep us from growth, the invisible chains that bind us to the familiar. But Zhuangzi's words cut through this fog. To know and not act is not yet to know. Knowledge without action is incomplete, a half-formed truth. The challenge isn't just to learn, it's to live what you learn, to let your understanding breathe through your choices. Every dream you've deferred, every goal you've shelved, is waiting for you to bridge this gap. The problems are real, but so is your power to overcome them. One action, one step, one choice. That's where the journey begins. Let's dive into the philosophy behind Zhuangzi's words. Zhuangzi, a master of Taoist thought, was a poet of the human spirit, weaving stories and paradoxes that challenge how we see the world. His quote, "To know and not act is not yet to know," is a cornerstone of his philosophy, rooted in the idea that true understanding is alive, dynamic, and expressed through action. In Taoism, life is about flowing with the natural order, the Tao, aligning your heart and hands with the truth you perceive. Knowledge, to Zhuangzi, isn't a collection of facts or ideas stored in your mind. It's a living force, completed only when it shapes your life. Think about it. You can study the art of swimming, memorize every technique, but until you dive into the water, you don't truly know how to swim. This is what Zhuangzi means. Knowing is not passive. It's an active, transformative process. Personal growth hinges on this truth. You grow not by accumulating ideas, but by embodying them, by letting your knowledge guide your steps. Zhuangzi's wisdom invites you to let go of perfectionism, to stop waiting for complete certainty before you act. Growth is messy, imperfect, a dance of trying and learning. His philosophy also speaks to presence. To act on what you know is to live fully in the moment, to trust the flow of life rather than overthinking the future. This isn't about reckless leaps. It's about intentional steps, choices that reflect your deepest understanding. To know and not act is not yet to know challenges you to close the loop, to make your knowledge whole by living it. It's a call to courage, to bridge the gap between thought and deed. This perspective shifts how you see yourself. You're not just a dreamer or a learner. You're a doer, a creator, someone who brings truth to life. Zhuangzi's words are a gentle push, urging you to act with faith, to let your actions be the proof of what you know. Personal growth is this cycle of knowing, acting, and growing, each step building on the last, each action a testament to your evolving self. To fully grasp this quote, let's step back to ancient China, to the Warring States period around the 4th century BCE. This was a time of upheaval, with rival kingdoms clashing, philosophies competing, and ordinary people seeking meaning in a fractured world. Zhuangzi, often seen as a mystic and storyteller, followed in the footsteps of Laozi, weaving Taoist ideas into parables that spoke to both heart and mind. His writings, collected in the book that bears his name, were a response to the rigidity of Confucian rules and the chaos of endless wars. In this context, to know and not act is not yet to know was a radical call. Scholars and rulers of the time prized knowledge, debates, strategies, moral codes, but Zhuangzi saw beyond this. He believed true wisdom wasn't in memorizing principles or winning arguments. It was in living authentically, in harmony with the Tao. Imagine a young scholar in ancient China, poring over scrolls, mastering the classics, yet hesitant to apply his learning in a turbulent world. Zhuangzi's words would have been a wake-up call, urging him to act, to test his knowledge in the crucible of life. This wasn't about reckless action, but about courage, about trusting one's understanding enough to let it guide their path. The Warring States period was a crucible for ideas, with thinkers like Mencius, Mozi, and Han Fei vying for influence. Yet Zhuangzi stood apart, his stories of butterflies and useless trees cutting through dogma to reveal simple truths. His quote resonated because it spoke to everyone, not just the elite, but farmers, artisans, dreamers, who faced their own struggles. To know and not act is not yet to know was a reminder that wisdom is universal, accessible to anyone willing to live it. This historical backdrop gives the quote its power. Born in a time of chaos, it speaks to the timeless human need to act on what we know, to grow through doing, to find hope in movement. Now, let's bring this wisdom to life through a story. In a small village cradled by misty mountains, there lived a woman named Lian, a weaver whose hands crafted cloth as delicate as morning dew. Lian dreamed of opening her own workshop, a place where her designs could inspire others. She had studied the craft for years, learning every thread, every pattern, until her knowledge was unmatched. Yet her dream remained just that, a dream. The village was poor, her family depended on her, and the thought of failure loomed large. What if I lose everything? She wondered. What if my work isn't good enough? One autumn evening, an old traveler stopped by her stall, admiring her cloth. Lian shared her dream, her fears, and the traveler listened, his eyes warm with understanding. To know and not act is not yet to know, he said softly. Lian frowned. But I know my craft, she protested. The traveler nodded. Then weave one piece for your dream. Sell it at the market. See what happens. His words lingered, like a melody she couldn't forget. The next day, Lian chose her finest threads and wove a single shawl, pouring her heart into every knot. She took it to the market, her hands trembling. To her surprise, a merchant bought it, praising its beauty. Emboldened, Lian wove another piece, then another, each sale building her confidence. She began saving, planning, taking small steps toward her workshop. The path wasn't smooth. Some days, no one bought her work. Other days, doubt crept in. But Lian kept weaving, kept acting on what she knew. Months turned to years, and one day, she stood in her own workshop, surrounded by looms and apprentices, her dream alive. Lian's journey wasn't just about weaving. It was about courage, about turning knowledge into action. Her story is yours. Your dream, your knowledge, is waiting for you to act, to take that first, brave step and let the path unfold. What does this mean for you? To know and not act is not yet to know is a call to live your truth, to make your knowledge real through action. Personal growth isn't about how much you know. It's about how much you do with what you know. The challenges, fear, doubt, procrastination, are real, but they're not the end of your story. Your power lies in the choice to act, to start small, to move forward even when you're unsure. This lesson is your guide. You don't need to have all the answers or a perfect plan. You just need to act on what you know today. Maybe it's writing the first page of your novel, signing up for that course, or having that difficult conversation. That action, however small, is the spark that sets your growth in motion. Zhuangzi's wisdom teaches you to trust your knowledge, to let it breathe through your choices. Growth is a cycle of learning and doing, each action building on the last, each step a victory. It's okay to stumble, to doubt, to learn as you go. What matters is that you act, that you live what you know. This takeaway is your compass. No dream is out of reach if you're willing to act on it. Let go of the need for certainty. Embrace the journey, the messiness, the joy of becoming. Your knowledge is a seed, and action is the soil that lets it grow. So, take a deep breath, feel the hope rising within you, and act. To know and not act is not yet to know, but to act is to truly know, to grow, to become. Let's hold this truth close one more time. To know and not act is not yet to know. Zhuangzi's words are a gift, a reminder that you are more than your thoughts, more than your plans. You are a doer, a creator, someone whose actions shape the world. You stand at the edge of your own journey, a new goal, a deeper connection, a bolder you. The path may seem daunting, the challenge is real, but you have everything you need to begin. Act on what you know. Let it be small, let it be imperfect, but let it be yours. With each action, you'll grow stronger, wiser, more alive. The world is waiting for your courage, your truth, your unique journey. So go, act, become. To know and not act is not yet to know, but to act is to know, to grow, to shine.